It's time to hit the holiday season with plenty of news and notes from the city of Savannah. Coming up on the show, we'll take you on a flight over the new Canal District and give you an in-depth update on the status of Savannah's new arena. Plus, it's budget time. The balance is there, and the strategic plan continues to move Savannah forward. From badge pinnings to a major fire award, we have plenty from public safety to make you smile. This will cheer up your holidays. A little art, a little jazz, and plenty for good health. Savannah's cutting the ribbon and unveiling the sign. Stick with us, it's City Span, and it starts right now. And welcome to our holiday season edition of City Span. I hope you're in the spirit. I'm Ken Slatz. We're going to start with a major update. Savannah's largest project is moving along. That's the building of the new arena just west of the downtown historic district. The arena is a SBAC funded project, and it's moving along as planned.
A lot of the stuff that you just don't see right now, which is a lot of the site work, a lot of the underground utilities, that stuff has begun. Coming up next will be the foundational work. We're driving huge piles into the ground to support this massive structure.
A massive structure indeed, 200,000 square feet, funded through the Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax, or SBLOST, the penny tax from locals and visitors alike.
We've had to put up develop plans for a new sort of trailer village. Again, we're going to be employing thousands of people to build the arena. So we have to sort of figure out the logistics of how you move people in and out of that.
At the same time of the building of the Savannah Arena, a major rebuild to Gwinnett Street will be shaping Savannah's west side and the Canal District.
That'll be the most visible construction project for a lot of residents, particularly on the west side. That is a major road project that will raise parts of the road, build a new bridge, and then widen Gwinnett Street from 2 lanes to 4 lanes with a landscape median in the middle. There'll be bike lanes, there'll be sidewalks. This will be a complete street. And it'll give a real sense of arrival into the larger Canal District that we're developing. Which is the plan for that area to be a destination, an extension of the already bustling downtown landmark district. This will push streets, it'll push trail networks, and it'll push development farther to the west, connecting really our historic district with some of our greatest neighborhoods on the west side, places like Carver Village and Cloverdale. And it'll really serve as a bridge in a new public offering.
The Anchor Project, the arena itself, is expected to be complete in early 2022. Shifting gears a bit, each year in December, the city presents a balanced budget for council to approve. This year, it's no different. It's jumped just over 1.5% to $425 million.
One of our main goals is to make sure that we're providing the resources to effectuate effective and efficient citywide operations and services and programs without reducing staff. And that's going to be the goal every single year.
Budget Director Melissa Carter's challenged with bringing all the numbers together, producing a balanced budget as per state law by December 31st.
We're providing resources for a very wide variety of stakeholders, not only city staff and city operations, not only based on council priorities, but also for the community. Because we realize that the inclusions or exclusions of this budget plan eventually affect the community. And so that's also in our focus.
Carter says all budget decisions are weighed as per the city's strategic plan, taking into account the 5 main priorities.
And so we make sure to take very good care to enhance each one of those priorities so we're making progress. And we want to make sure that we're not forgetting the fact that we want to spur economic development and growth. That is also one of our strategic plan priorities. And that's how we do it, by becoming more competitive, being an attractive community to attract residents and businesses.
The new 2020 budget, adopted by Mayor and Council, takes effect January 1st of the new year. Turning to public safety, Savannah Police welcomed 14 new officers at a badge pinning ceremony held at the Savannah Cultural Arts Center. It was also a big day for several others within the department.
You are the first line that people run into. You are the first line that says what is right and what is wrong.
Your commitment to serve this community, it recognizes your dedication, your career choice that'll make this community a safer place to live, a career choice that says, yes, I want to show my leadership, I want to advance through the ranks, I want to show others what this community can be.
14 officers were promoted to sergeant. Max Nowinski from the Northwest Precinct was promoted to lieutenant. And we have a new captain at SPD. Tanya Reed officially takes the reins at Central Precinct.
Assistant Chief Stephanie Price.
Chief Price was hired back in March. She's a 20-year veteran of the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department who recently completed her Georgia Peace Officer training.
It is not just a relief, but I am so proud to be a member of the Savannah Police Department. I'm so proud the way that people have welcomed me here, and I know that we have some work to do, and I'm very much looking forward to the direction of Chief Mentor's got our police department, and really the way we're all one family. My specific focus over the next several months is the technology initiatives that we've got going on to really make the officer's job more effective and efficient when they're doing their daily operations, so we can really help them police our community better.
As you take on these new leadership roles, I want you to keep the 3 P's of leadership in mind. The first P is passion. Passion is what separates good leaders from great leaders. The second one is patience. Patience is what enables you to stay focused, especially during difficult times. And then perseverance. Perseverance is about being persistent in the pursuit of your goals and your dreams.
More news from SPD. That's the ribbon cutting for the preserved Caretaker's Cottage right next to the Central Precinct on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. It's a collaborative effort between the city and Historic Savannah Foundation that preserves a piece of Savannah's history and provides housing for 2 young Savannah police officers, allowing them to work and live in the community that they serve.
This is an example of us making sure we take care of anything that has to do with historic issues in our community. We try to get that done.
We were able to preserve representation of the old Meldrum Row, the African-American working men's cottages that were built by Judge Meldrum in the 1800s, the late 1800s.
I think it's a worthwhile project. It shows you the collaboration of the city and a city that is respectful of its historical heritage.
We're very grateful to be involved in this project. We hope that it is a foreshadowing of future projects with the city.
While the exterior of the cottage maintains its historic character, the interior has been updated to better accommodate the officers who will live there. Each of the 2 units has 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, kitchen, living room, and laundry room. City officials believe that the cottage will help with retention and recruiting while bringing officers closer to those they protect and serve.
What better way to show the neighbors and the community around here that we as a city, we as public safety officers are invested in the community than to actually live here 24/7.
Simply put, the officers who will occupy this residence are not only protectors of this community, they're also neighbors and community partners.
Funds for the restoration of the cottage came from SPLOST 6. 2 SPD officers have called it home since the middle of November. We have more public safety news coming up. Savannah Fire's top honor each year, well, this year it goes to Goolsby. We'll take you to the ceremony. Plus tons of neighborhood revitalization. From Sylvan Terrace to Summerside to Waters Avenue. It's quite an artistic addition to one of Savannah's growing corridors. And you like jazz? You'll want to catch this tune straight ahead on SGTV's City Span.
This the city that I love, let's try to keep it up. It's where we party every day, so through the week is up. And everybody having fun, nobody deep as us. We got our own style, but we just gotta clean it up. I love my home, down by the water. I told her that I'm a southern girl from down by the border. And ain't nothing changed about me, that's how Savannah raised me. History in the making, everybody love me, it's amazing. This where we live, how about we take some pride in it, thrive in it. I'ma pull up and take a ride in it. And it's so easy to go put it in a basket. This is my home, don't trash it.
When you dial 911 for a structure fire here in Savannah, you will get at least 25 firefighters on your scene.
It's a lot more than just putting out the fire and then going back to our station. We will stay there to make sure that the citizens are taken care of.
Because we keep such a high level of training, the ability to adjust from one situation to another is extremely simple for us.
Savannah Fire is an internationally accredited agency and is an ISO Class 1 department. Only 2% of all fire departments have achieved this prestigious level. Think you have what it takes to be one of the elite? For more information, savannahfire.org.
Welcome back to City Span. Waters Avenue is slowly getting back to the business corridor it once was decades ago. Combine the streetscape improvements with the small business tax breaks, and the full neighborhood revitalization is taking shape. Our Amanda LeBreau checked out Arts on Waters, a major block party helping define the area.
From empty storefronts to full-fledged galleries, the Arts on Waters block party celebrated these installations and the community they're bringing new life to. Locals checked out the newly revamped windows in the Waters Avenue Shopping Center and created some art of their own.
I love art, so we were just coming down here to have fun.
10-year-old Marcus Beasley was one of the dozens who attended the Arts on Waters block party, celebrating public art and the role it's playing in revitalizing this community.
I love it because we don't have to walk real far and we'll just walk across the street.
The city's Arts on Waters initiative invited local artists to infuse these once empty spaces with original work.
There's a lot of potential here, so when I heard that they wanted to put in installations, I was really excited and I wanted to jump on board on that. I really thought the opportunity to add some color, pattern, and excitement to the street was a good idea.
Artist Emily Stockwell lives nearby and thinks adding art is a gateway to rejuvenate this community.
It helps people see that there is potential here, that even an empty storefront can be utilized, and hopefully will inspire people to come in and occupy these spaces with stores or galleries, restaurants.
Some of the youngest neighbors hope it's a sign of things to come.
Hello, that they take care of people, so when we grow up, we can have events like this.
The current galleries will be on display through January, and new ones will take over these spaces in February. On Waters Avenue, Amanda LeBreau for City Span.
Thank you very much, Amanda. Great story. Arts on Waters, I like it. Savannah has a rich history and tradition of jazz music. During a recent panel discussion at the Savannah Cultural Arts Center, former Mayor Otis Johnson was joined by Huxley Scott, Teddy Adams, Ike Carter, and Dr. Charles Elmore to offer a glimpse into that history and the music's impact.
Savannah's jazz roots can be traced back to the vocals and drumming of Africa, and it flourished in Savannah thanks to the improvisational skills of early African Americans who used it as a form of expression and communication.
We as African American people have to ride the vicissitudes of life, the difficulties of life, and improvise and make do.
The music is a part of the people who created the music. Improvisation, which is one of the main tenets of the music, one of the main elements of the music, is a way of life that African Americans had to have in order to make it in this country. We had to improvise.
So jazz is about the improvisation of life, and not only black life, but all jazz musicians.
West Broad Street, now Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, became the heart and soul of Savannah jazz in the early 20th century.
As early as 1909 on Thanksgiving Day, Josephine Styles opened the Pekin Theater. To go back to what I said earlier.
Tell them a little bit about the Pekin.
The Pekin Theater was based on the Pekin Theater in Chicago of Bob Mott's.
Yeah.
And they played, they had all the vaudevillians. There was great vaudeville in Savannah.
Many jazz greats have Savannah roots, including drummer Ben Riley, saxophonist James Moody, and the singer Irene Reed.
Being a seaport town, and like Dr. Elmo said, a town of infamy by reputation, people, it drew people. I mean, you know, entertainers, musicians, jazz, rhythm and blues musicians, a lot of times they wouldn't be booked here. They would stop here merely because we had venues and there was some possible work.
That jazz tradition continues thanks to individuals like Teddy Adams, Ike Carter, Dr. Charles Elmore, and vocalist Huxley Scott.
I have to hold on to lyrics that were written by someone else, and I respect the music that was written by somebody else. But I get a chance to fly and give my own take on what they've done. And that is the way I see it. And when I look back, I have always done that with songs all my life, even though I didn't know that's what I was doing.
And thanks to the work of the Savannah Jazz Association, formerly the Coastal Jazz Association, Savannah's rich jazz history is being preserved and retold.
This distinguished panel are serving as our advisors for one of our biggest projects ever as a 37-year-old keeper of Savannah's jazz legacy. It is the Savannah Jazz History and Hall of Fame exhibit. This will be our first chance to tell for a very long time in perpetuity this rich story of Savannah's jazz history.
To watch the panel discussion in its entirety, go to youtube.com/City of Savannah.
A few months ago, we brought you the story of the revitalization of Sylvan Terrace Park, complete with a playground, exercise stations, and a walking trail. Well, now the walking trail has a name, honoring a couple of area legends who themselves paved a trail.
To recognize these two men and their families who embody what is truly meant to be service to others.
Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Sears and the late Chief Warrant Officer David Richards Jr., each dedicating a big part of their lives in defense of our country.
Colonel Sears was in the neighborhood first and met my dad and introduced him to the community. We moved here in 1976. But God has connected us not just through the fraternity, but the will of God to serve the community, to uplift the people in which you live, not just in the community, but in the state, the city, and wherever you go, to be an influence, to change the status quo.
Chief Richards and Colonel Sears did just that. The former serving more than a decade as a crime prevention analyst for the city of Savannah. The latter once this neighborhood's association president.
We miss him still. We are proud of his many achievements and wish that we could have been a part of this dedication ceremony. We thank all of you for the tribute you are paying him and his family today. We will always remember you. Sincerely, Audie Jean Sears.
Chief Richards, a man of unwavering commitment. His commitment first to God, his commitment to family, his commitment to country.
I have been impressed with the urgency of doing, wrote Leonardo da Vinci. And he continues, knowing is not enough, we must apply. Being willing is not enough, we must do. We are here today in honor of two individuals who clearly believe in the urgency of doing.
So I want to thank their families for lending and loaning them to us through the late nights and weekends and time away serving our country, as well as everything they did for the city of Savannah while they were here.
More neighborhood revitalization coming to the city's 5th district, where city leaders, staff, and neighborhood residents gathered to celebrate the start of the new Summerside Park.
This is what a city is all about. This is what we're all about. And as we go forward, we want to make sure we do a number of these in different communities so that we can bring our community together.
This first phase of this development project includes a new playground and a parking lot at a total of $162,927 of the SBAC 6 funds from the 5th District Automatic Discretionary Funds. Phase 2 of this project will include a pavilion, picnic tables, water fountains, and of course, our benches to enjoy the peaceful Savannah days that we all love.
Summerside really appreciate the mayor, Deloach, Alderman Woman Sabaz, and the city for the great job they're doing for us, for our park. I don't have much to say, but thank you, thank you, thank you.
I am so glad that we are able to write this new chapter in the history and herstory of Summerside neighborhood together as we break ground in Summerside and on the Summerside Park. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. You did this. It's on the way, Summerside.
Another great park here in the city of Savannah. We are not done yet, but we do need to take a break. Still to come. That's Savannah Fire's Battalion Chief Goolsby. He's your Chief Officer of the Year. We'll take you to the ceremony. Plus, we'll have our SBAC Spotlight. Straight ahead, it's our partnership with Healthy Savannah. Top tips for strength training to wrap up the year. City Span will be right back.
When debris clogs our storm drains, your area can flood. You can help stop it. It may seem obvious, but please don't put debris down the storm drains. This includes lawn clippings, leaves, litter, and you. Yeah, you, with the construction debris. What do you think will happen when that hardens? You've sealed your storm drain shut. Be smart and keep your property from flooding. Only rain down the drain. Your storm drain is not a trash can. Thanks.
Most of us have done it.
Dropped a bag,
a cup,
a butt.
Sometimes by accident, sometimes you think it's no big deal.
But it adds up fast.
It gets pretty nasty.
Sure, someone else might pick it up.
Or you could be in for a surprise. A ticket.
A fine.
Or community service.
Seriously? That is embarrassing.
Consider this a heads up.
Find a trash can.
After all, we live in one of America's most beautiful cities.
A city I'm proud to call home.
This is my home.
My home.
My home.
Savannah is our home.
Don't trash it.
Welcome back to the stretch run of City Span. It's time for a little fitness. The city partnering up with Healthy Savannah to encourage health.
I'm also here to tell you that strength training, weightlifting, resistance training is for everyone.
That's Katie Balthrop, founder of Savannah Sport and Wellness, speaking in front of a packed house at the Morris Center. She's been a fitness professional for more than a decade, and her focus was on training for all ages.
How do we continue to restart ourselves to find the motivation to go back? And we're going to get to it, but it's all about setting a routine and a plan for yourself. So unfortunately, when we hurt, we move less. We tend not to want to do anything because it hurts to do it. But I promise, if you start moving, your body will respond and it will adapt in a very positive way.
Balthrop goes over certain exercises and ways to get moving, no matter what your age. You can see her full presentation on our City of Savannah YouTube page. It's under the playlist, Special Events. Savannah Fire Rescue and American Legion Post 135 recognized a Southside Battalion Chief as this year's most dynamic leader. Amanda LeBreau introduces us to Chief Officer of the Year, William Goolsby.
As Savannah Fire Battalion Chief William Goolsby accepted the 2019 Chief Officer of the Year award, he reflected on a career that almost wasn't.
When I first started, I wasn't even sure this is what I wanted to do. And after the first week, I had my first fire, and then I said, you know, I think I do want to do this.
For 36 years, he's been fighting fires and helping people in Chatham County and Savannah.
Anytime somebody's in trouble or having a fire or just a bad day in general, just trying to help them out as best we can.
He says the recognition from American Legion Post 135 is unexpected and would be impossible without his co-workers.
I would not be here if it wasn't for the guys on the floor. Their dedication and hard work makes my job real easy.
Serving the community is a family business. Goolsby's dad retired from Savannah Fire after 35 years with the department. He was among the many family members at the ceremony to honor Goolsby as Savannah Fire's most dynamic leader.
They've been very, very supportive over the years. We're not home a third of our life. We're at the fire station. So we do miss out on events and holidays and things like that, but they've been extremely supportive.
When asked how earning this award made him feel, Goolsby answered simply,
very humble.
Amanda LeBreau for City Span.
And thank you again, Amanda, much appreciated. It's a match we're excited to bring you. It's our SBAC Spotlight, the Small Business Assistance Corporation, working with a veteran-owned small biz, Envision Eye Care.
Working with the Small Business Corporation is a great place to start because they have lots of resources and also lots of stories where people have walked the same path and a lot of good tips that can help you be successful at what you do.
After 20 years in the military, he and his wife started a private optometry practice in their adopted home of Savannah.
We got married here and settled down here and had kids. I felt like my military career was well on its way, and she wanted to start her own business. I wanted to support her 100%. I like challenges. Being a military soldier, I like being successful at things and being on a winning team.
Thanks to community support,
we've gotten a lot of support from churches, from other businesses in the community, and we also, in return, try to support them.
And support from the SBAC. They've been business owners for decades.
It pretty much was with us all along the way, and even after 20 years, I can pick up the phone at any time.
That'll wrap up another edition of City Span and another year of in-depth news and information in and about the city of Savannah from us here at SGTV. We will continue to be the most informative outlet for news from City Hall and beyond. Please keep it tuned to SGTV. You can also visit our website, that's savannahga.gov, or check us out on social media. We are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm Ken Slatz. A big shout out to our producer, director Wayne Nix for bringing all of this together. Thanks again for watching. Have an awesome holiday season and a very happy New Year. And thanks for making Savannah your home.